Apple, Walmart, and big banks around the world all made this year's list of the 2012 worst reputation falls. Daniel Diermeier, professor at the Kellogg School of Management, joins us now with insights. And you call this a banner year.
Thank you very much for having me again. This is indeed a banner year. We've had a lot of companies that got into trouble. When we just look at the global financial services industry, there would have been 5 or 6 companies that could have made the list just on their own.
And we can name a few. Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase with that big loss. Goldman Sachs makes the list. HSBC. Did it change people's perceptions of these big banks?
When we look at the data, we could see that trust in the financial service industry has further eroded. So anytime you have a crisis like that, it has an impact on the company overall. But when you have a bunch of companies together, it does erode trust in the industry as a whole.
There was also a tragic event that made the list, Costa Concordia.
Yes, Costa Concordia, we all remember the images of the half-tipped over cruise ship right there off the coast of Italy. It was a tragic case. It was obviously loss of lives and a tragic situation all around. What made it particularly striking, however, was some of the kind of bizarre circumstances surrounding the behavior of the captain at the time, and that raised immediately questions about the safety standards at the operator.
That's right, thoughts of an affair with a younger woman, and there was just a lot of details on that one. Moving on to Apple and Foxconn. This was a shocking story to a lot of people as to how people were treated over in China as they make iPhones and iPads for Apple.
Yes, it was a surprising story for many. And of course, Apple, an iconic company with a passionate customer base, nevertheless found itself in the spotlight over labor conditions, not at its own factories, but at a supplier. What you have here is really an increasingly common phenomena where brand companies that are well known, are held accountable for business practices that go really beyond the immediate operations that they control.
Walmart had issues in Mexico with alleged corruption happening there, as well as in the United States with worker outrage, especially among people who did not want to work on Thanksgiving Day.
Yes, so Walmart had a tough year. You had in addition also another supply chain issue in the Bangladeshi factory where this horrific fire happened. Then you had the corruption cases in Mexico and other instances. And what that has raised, I think, has really raised some issues on the governance structure and how Walmart has handled those issues. It also has reunited or re-energized an anti-Walmart coalition that has been active in the United States for many years, but which has a little bit lost its momentum over the last few years.
And one case that disappointed many people, Lance Armstrong.
Yes, Lance Armstrong, it's obviously a personal tragedy. It has to do with his life as a cyclist, but it also has brought to attention some of the challenges that nonprofits and charitable foundations face. In this case, it was because of the association with Lance Armstrong. Another organization on the list, the Komen Foundation, also found itself in the spotlight. So that shows that non-for-profits have reputational issues themselves and need to worry about them just as much as corporations.
And Chick-fil-A also getting a mention by you as well.
That's right.
Good to have you on the show today. That's Daniel Diermeier. He is a professor at the Kellogg School of Management. Always a pleasure.
Thank you very much for having me.